You're getting spam calls. So you know that feeling. Your phone buzzes, you pick it up thinking it's something important, and it's a robocall about your car's extended warranty. Again, or worse, it's a sophisticated scam trying to get your personal information. Spam and scam calls have gone from a minor annoyance to a full-blown epidemic. They're not just wasting our time, they're actively trying to breach our privacy and, in some cases, our bank accounts. The technology behind these calls is getting smarter, using spoofed numbers to look local and familiar, making it harder than ever to know who's on the other end of the line. It's a constant battle, and frankly, it's exhausting. But what if I told you there are some concrete, practical steps you can take right now to fight back? We're not talking about just hitting ignore and hoping for the best. We're going to dive deep into the settings on your phone, explore some powerful tools you might not even know you have, and establish some simple habits that can dramatically reduce the number of unwanted calls you receive. This isn't about finding a single magic bullet, because one doesn't exist. It's about building a multi-layered defense system for your digital life. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through 10 specific, actionable tips that will help you reclaim your phone and your peace of mind. From built-in OS features to third-party apps and even federal registries, we'll cover the entire playbook. The goal here is to empower you with the knowledge to protect your privacy, secure your information, and finally put an end to the constant interruptions. So, grab your phone and let's get into it. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the tools that are already baked right into your smartphone's operating system. Both iOS and Android have gotten significantly better over the years at identifying and flagging potential spam calls before they even get to you. It's the kind of quiet background feature that's easy to overlook, but you want to make sure it's enabled and working for you. On most Android phones, you can just open your phone app, go into the settings, and look for something called Caller ID and Spam Protection. A simple toggle switch is usually all it takes to turn it on. This allows Google to cross-reference incoming numbers with its massive database of known spammers, giving you that helpful suspected spam caller warning. On the iPhone side, it works a little differently, but achieves a similar goal. Apple doesn't have its own central spam database in the same way Google does, but it allows your cellular carrier to do the heavy lifting. In your phone settings under Phone, you'll find an option called Call Blocking and Identification. Here, you can enable your carrier's spam identification app, like Atan DTS Call Protect or T-Mobile's Scam Shield. These services are often free and integrate directly into your call screen. It's a super simple, set it and forget it type of feature that should honestly be the default for everyone. It's your foundational layer of protection, so take a second to make sure it's turned on. Now, this next one is a bit more old school, but it's still a crucial piece of the puzzle, the National Do Not Call Registry. This is a free service from the US government designed to stop unwanted sales calls from legitimate companies. Now, let's be clear about what this does and doesn't do. Registering your number at donotcall.gov tells legitimate telemarketers that they are not legally allowed to call you. It's against the law for them to do so, and they face hefty fines if they violate it. The process is super straightforward. You go to the website, enter your phone number and email, and confirm your registration. That's it. Your number stays on the list until you remove it. However, and this is the important part, the Do Not Call registry is not a magic shield against scammers and illegal robocallers. Those outfits don't care about the law, so they're not going to check the list before they dial you. So why bother? Because it effectively filters out an entire category of unwanted calls, the legitimate but still annoying ones. By taking them out of the equation, you make it easier to identify the remaining calls as almost certainly being scams. Think of it as cleaning up the noise so you can focus on the real threats. It's a simple, one-time setup that adds another strong layer to your defense. This next tip is less about technology and more about changing a simple habit. And that is, if you don't recognize the number, just don't answer it. I know it sounds almost too simple, but it's incredibly effective. In today's world, if a call is truly important, the person will leave a voicemail or send you a text message. Scammers, on the other hand, almost never do. Their entire business model relies on volume. They dial thousands of numbers hoping to get a live person on the line. When you answer, you're confirming two things for them. First, that your number is active and belongs to a real person. And second, that you're someone who answers unknown calls. This effectively puts you on what they call a sucker list. Your number is now more valuable to them and will likely be sold to other scam operations, leading to even more spam calls. By letting an unknown or suspicious call go to voicemail, you give them nothing. You remain a question mark. You haven't confirmed your number is active, and you haven't engaged. After a few seconds, you can check your voicemail. If it's a legitimate caller, your doctor's office with an appointment reminder, a delivery driver, you can call them right back. If it's silence or a robocall hang-up, you've successfully filtered out a spam call without lifting a finger, and you've kept your number off their high-priority list. So despite your best efforts, some spam calls are inevitably going to get through. When that happens, your next move is to manually block the number. It might feel a bit like a game of whack-a-mole, since spammers are constantly cycling through new numbers, but it's still a worthwhile practice. Blocking a number ensures that specific number can never call or text you again. It's particularly useful for those persistent spammers who use the same number repeatedly. The process is built right into your phone's call log, and it's super easy to do. On an iPhone, just go to your Recents tab in the phone app. Tap the little I icon next to the spam number, scroll all the way to the bottom, and hit block this caller. On most Android phones, it's a similar process. Open your call history, tap on the number you want to block, and you'll typically see an option to block or report as spam. This action not only prevents that number from contacting you again, but in the case of Android, it also sends that data back to Google to help improve its spam detection for everyone else. So even if it feels repetitive, you're contributing to the greater good with every number you block. If the built-in tools on your phone aren't quite cutting it, it might be time to call in the heavy artillery third-party call blocking apps. These are dedicated applications designed to be much more aggressive and sophisticated in how they identify and block spam. Apps like Nomorobo, Truecaller, and Hiya maintain their own massive, constantly updated databases of spam numbers, often sourced from their millions of users. When a call comes in, these apps check the number against their list in real time and can automatically block it before your phone even rings. It's a much more proactive approach than the standard built-in filters. Most of these apps operate on a freemium model. The free versions usually provide caller ID for spam numbers, while the paid subscriptions unlock more powerful features like automatic blocking, voicemail transcription, and the ability to block entire area codes or number sequences. When choosing an app, it's really important to stick with reputable, well-known names. Remember, you're giving this app access to your call log, so you want to be sure it's from a company that takes privacy seriously. A good third-party app can be a game changer, turning a phone that rings constantly with spam into one that only rings when it's someone you actually want to talk to. This tip is all about prevention. A lot of the time, we are unknowingly the source of our own spam call problems. Think about how many times you've entered your phone number online, signing up for a new social media account, entering a contest, filling out a customer feedback form, or posting it publicly in a forum. Every time you share your number, you're creating a data point that can be scraped, collected, bundled, and sold by data brokers. These lists are a goldmine for telemarketers and scammers who buy them up to fuel their spam campaigns. So the advice here is simple but critical. Treat your phone number like you treat your social security number or your credit card information. Be incredibly selective about where you share it. Avoid posting it publicly on social media profiles like Facebook or Twitter. When a website or service asks for your number, ask yourself if it's truly necessary. If it is, check their privacy policy to see how they handle your data. For non-essential signups, consider using a secondary number, like a Google Voice number, which can act as a buffer. The less your primary number is out there in the digital wild, the fewer spam lists it will end up on. Okay, this is probably the single most important tip in this entire video. So, let's say a sophisticated scam call gets past all your defenses and you end up answering it. The person on the other end might sound like super professional, urgent, and honestly, really convincing. They might claim to be from your bank, the IRS, Amazon, or even Microsoft support. And yeah, they might even have some of your information already, like your name or address, just to make themselves seem legit. But their goal is always the same, to trick you into giving up more sensitive personal information. This is where you need to be, like an unbreakable wall. The golden rule is to give out personal or financial information over an unsolicited phone call. Ever. This includes your full social security number, your bank account details, credit card numbers, online banking passwords, or even answers to common security questions, like your mother's maiden name. Legitimate organizations will never call you out of the blue and ask for this type of sensitive data. And if you feel even the slightest bit of pressure or suspicion, honestly, the best thing to do is just hang up immediately. If you're worried the call might have been legit, find the official phone number for the organization on their website or your bank statement and call them back directly. When you get a spam call, your first instinct might be to just block the number and move on. But there's another step you can take that helps fight the problem on a larger scale: reporting the spam call to your cellular carrier. All the major carriers, like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, have systems in place to track and combat spam. When you report a number, you're providing them with valuable data that helps them identify spamming patterns, update their network-level filters, and potentially even block the source of the calls for all of their customers. The method for reporting can vary. Some carriers have dedicated apps like T-Mobile's Scam Shield, where you can easily report a call from your history. Others allow you to forward a spam text message to a specific short code, which is usually 7726, that spells spam. For voice calls, you can often use this same code. After a spam call, you can dial *7726 from your phone, and you'll typically get a text back from your carrier asking for the number that called you. It only takes a few seconds, and while it won't stop that one call you already received, it makes you an active part of the solution, helping to protect not just yourself, but millions of other people on the same network. If you're at your wit's end and ready for a more aggressive solution, your smartphone has a feature that's basically the nuclear option for spam calls. On the iPhone, it's called Silence Unknown Callers, and many Android phones have a similar feature, sometimes just called Block Unknown Numbers. When you enable this, your phone will automatically silence any call from a number that is not in your contacts list, your recent outgoing calls, or from Siri suggestions. The call won't ring, it will be sent straight to voicemail and will appear in your recents list so you can see who called. This is an incredibly powerful way to ensure your phone only rings for people you know. However, it's a trade-off, and you need to be aware of the downside. This feature will also silence legitimate calls from numbers you don't have saved. Think about a call from your child's school, a doctor's office you've never been to before, or a delivery service. Those calls will also go straight to voicemail. So, this feature is best for people who are very diligent about checking their voicemail and whose contacts list is comprehensive. It's not for everyone, but if you're getting dozens of spam calls a day, the peace and quiet it provides can be absolutely worth it. And finally, our 10th tip. This one is simple, but it's the foundation that all the other security measures are built on. Keep your phone's software updated. It's easy to dismiss those update available notifications, tapping Remind Me Later over and over again. But those updates are much more than just a new set of emojis or a slightly different font. Software updates from Apple and Google are packed with crucial security patches, bug fixes, and performance improvement. As scammers and hackers develop new techniques, the phone manufacturers are constantly working to counter them. These updates often include enhancements to the very spam-fighting systems we've been talking about. A new OS version might bring a more intelligent call screening feature, better integration with carrier spam apps, or patches for vulnerabilities that scammers could exploit. Running old software is like leaving your front door unlocked. You're making yourself an easy target. So do yourself a favor. Go into your phone settings, check for a software update, and if you have one pending, install it. Better yet, turn on automatic updates so your phone is always protected with the latest and greatest defenses without you even having to think about it. It's the easiest thing you can do to keep your device secure. So there you have it. 10 actionable tips you can start using today to seriously cut down on the number of spam and scam calls you get. We've covered everything from the simple, built-in features on your phone to more advanced strategies like third-party apps and the Silence Unknown Callers feature. Remember, there's no single solution that will block 100% of unwanted calls, but by layering these strategies together, you can build a really robust defense that will bring you a whole lot closer to that goal. It's about taking back control and ensuring that when your phone rings, it's for a reason you care about. The fight against spammers is a community effort, and that's where you come in. I'm sure some of you have your own clever tricks or favorite apps that I didn't mention. So I want you to drop a comment down below and share your best tips for blocking spam calls. What's worked for you? What hasn't? Let's use that comment section as a resource to help everyone else watching. The more we share what we know, the better equipped we all are to handle this problem. Your experience could be the exact thing someone else needs to hear. Ultimately, the most powerful tool you have is your own vigilance. Always be skeptical of unsolicited calls, especially those that create a sense of urgency or ask for personal information. Protect your phone number like it's a valuable asset, because it is. By staying informed and being cautious, you can protect not just your time and your peace of mind, but your privacy and your financial security as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.